It is over now. The moment that Shiba Inu owners have been waiting for the last 3 years has finally arrived. An expert has just made a sensational statement. In addition to a fresh technical chart, a significant finding has been made. Over the course of more than 3 years, this pattern has been developing, and now we finally have the solution. The Shiba Inu is getting ready to remove a zero, and believe me when I say that nobody is prepared for it. Massive indications of a breakthrough. A bullish momentum that is unreal. The possibility of becoming a Shiba Inu millionaire is once again being considered, as the saying goes. But what really is going on in this position? This 3-year analysis that I'm talking about, what exactly is it? Please allow me to elaborate. Welcome to Dr. Crypto, your daily serving of Shiba. This is the spot for you if you're curious about anything related to Shiba. If you want to keep informed about all the latest news forecasts and stay ahead of the crypto industry, subscribe. To get more SHIB news, be sure to click the like button. At the moment, there is a great deal going on behind the scenes, and it has the potential to result in something significant. There is a possibility that the price of Shiba Inu is on the verge of experiencing a significant price fluctuation, one that is far larger than what we have seen in recent times. The number of transactions involving Shiba Inu reached a new weekly peak of 7.37 trillion Shiba Inu for the first time. Furthermore, whenever we have seen a spike of this like in the past, it has often been an indication that a significant event is on the verge of taking place. Let's discuss about significant price movements, whether they are upward or downward. In addition, according to the most current statistics, it seems that we could be on the verge of seeing yet another significant change. A vital support level is now being occupied by Shiba Inu at this moment. Since the beginning of the week, this region has been functioning as a robust safety net, causing the price to bounce back up every time it touches down. This zone also coincides with a pattern that has been quite stable for some time, which is another factor that contributes to the significance of this zone. The effect is similar to that of 2 levels of assistance working together. But there is a catch to this. The level of pressure is increasing. It is not only possible that volatility will occur when you combine this sort of increasing network activity with an increase in the number of transactions. Almost certainly that will occur. On top of that, everything is different. A great number of people believe that Shiba Inu was only going through a period of calm, and that it may possibly be beginning to die away. Now, however, we are seeing unmistakable indications that something more significant may be in the works. It's not simply plain old noise. This provides a significant glimpse into what could occur in the future. Take a look at this if you are still not convinced that anything significant is taking place, even after considering all that has been said. The network is being used by a greater number of individuals, an increased number of projects are participating, and the ecosystem is becoming more robust behind the scenes. When this is added to everything else, including the increase in the amount of transactions, the solid support level, and the mounting pressure, it begins to portray a picture that is quite apparent. Someone or something is developing, and the majority of people aren't even aware of it yet. However, after delving a bit more, we discovered something that, to tell you the truth, gave us the shivers. Shiba Inu is getting closer to the peak of a multi-year symmetrical triangle, and a trading perspective analyst named Bitfinity is pointing out something significant: the possibility of a breakout occurring around the top of the triangle. We are discussing a configuration that has been in the process of being developed for 3 years, and here is where things start to get wild. 3 years. That is the amount of time that this trend has been developing. Do you have any idea what else took place 3 years ago? Yes, that illustrious bull run in the year 2021. To put it another way, a little bit older. Nonetheless, it has been 3.5 years. At that moment, Shiba Inu went on a rampage, which shocked the whole market and caused people all over the globe to turn their heads. Those who were early adopters of the meme currency have a strong recollection of that moment, when a little coin became a big wave. And now, 3 years later, we are looking at a long-term technical trend that may be pointing to something that is just as extensive as the last one. At the moment, the the cost has been fluctuating within a narrow band exactly between 4 zeros 12 and 4 zeros 13. There was a decrease on the 22nd of August, and there was a tiny increase on the 23rd of August, but in general, it seems as if not much is occurring. It's the quiet before the storm, just like that. As if a spring were being squeezed, this triangular pattern is becoming more constricting, and it is getting closer and closer to its breaking point. It's almost as if history is coming full circle. A 3-year trend that began to emerge 3 years after the most recent huge explosion. That couldn't really be a coincidence, can it? Assuming that this particular configuration plays out in the manner that experts are predicting, it may be the moment that Shiba Inu owners have been anticipating for all of this time. At this point, everything is beginning to come together in a meaningful way. As shown by a weekly chart that was distributed by Bitfinity, the formation of this enormous triangular pattern began immediately after the Shiba Inu reached its all-time high in the month of October 2021. Since then, Shiba Inu has been gradually tightening inside this triangle, with the peaks becoming lower and the price consistently finding support at the same level. This has been the case until the present time. Contemplate it in this manner. Every time Shiba Inu attempted to break out and run greater, as it did in March and once again in December of the previous year, it was pushed back down. This happened both times. On the other hand, despite all of that strain, it never completely collapsed either. The support line beneath has been very reliable, capturing every drop and ensuring that Shiba Inu continued to remain stable. Pressure has been steadily increasing as a result of this back and forth for over 3 years now. At this point, we are getting quite close to the vertex of the triangle. The place where things often do not remain calm any longer is that there must be a sacrifice made, and when it does, it is capable of quickly moving. According to the chart provided by Bitfinity, if Shiba Inu is successful in breaking past the initial barrier, it may begin to establish prices that are much higher than before. The first primary objective, approximately 4 minutes before 5 o'clock. The long-term objective, however, is 301, and that is the one that everyone is keeping an eye on. Here comes the most exciting part. The current position of Shiba Inu would be equivalent to a gain of more than 733% if it were to reach the 301 mark. This type of action would be quite significant. Furthermore, for those individuals who have been holding from the beginning of the game, or even for those who are just beginning to pay attention, this is the type of setup that has the potential to completely alter the game. The hype is no longer the only thing. There is a congruence between the chart, the time, and the pattern now. Moreover, here is still another factor that is not being taken into consideration. On the other hand, it is a really good thing. Recent findings from Into the Block indicate that an increasing number of Shiba Inu owners are now committed to the breed for the long term. The number of wallets that have been keeping Shiba Inu for more than a year is increasing, while the number of wallets that are keeping Shiba Inu for just a few months or for short periods of time is gradually decreasing. What this tells us is that the coin is changing hands, from those who flip it quickly to those who trust in it for the long term. And it is a really significant point. This results in fewer instances of panic selling, less pressure from those who are attempting to make a fast profit, and an overall increase in stability. It is a positive sign that the market is beginning to settle down. In addition, when genuine holders are the only ones who remain standing, it creates a much firmer foundation, particularly if the bullish momentum begins to ramp up. The trade climate is also showing indications of strength, which is a positive development. Even during periods in which market sentiment was going negative, and investors were betting against Shiba Inu, the cost never actually broke down, as seen by a chart that was provided by CoinGlass. This crucial support level remains stable throughout the whole process. When it comes down to it, short sellers attempted to drive it down many times, but were unsuccessful. Moreover, it seems that momentum is beginning to alter now. There is a gradual shift occurring in the market that is favoring long positions once again, which often indicates that confidence is returning. When a genuine surge upward is about to occur, this is often what takes place. When you take all of this into consideration, including the fact that long-term holdings are growing, the fact that sell pressure is decreasing, the fact that solid support is holding, and the fact that sentiment is starting to flip, it seems like the scene is being set. Not simply for a simple bounce, but perhaps for something far more significant. To add fuel to the fire, there is a rising buzz in the neighborhood. This would be an additional piece of evidence. There is a growing number of people who are beginning to truly think that Shiba Inu could soon eliminate a zero from its pricing. That is a really significant matter. There is more to this than simply a matter of statistics for Shiba Inu owners. To reach a significant milestone is the goal here. It would indicate that the price will finally shift from that lengthy string of decimals into a fresh range, which is something that many have been waiting for years to arrive at. And to tell you the truth, considering everything that we have just discussed, including the long-term chart setup, the developing strength in the market, and the move toward long-term investors, it is beginning to seem less like wishful thinking and more like something that may possibly occur. Therefore, it follows that a great number of individuals are experiencing a renewed sense of optimism. As a result of this optimism, we are seeing the realization of a significant dream: how to become a Shiba Inu billionaire. Let's take a closer look at it now. In the event that Shiba Inu reaches 301, which would remove only 10 from its present price, you would need to own 10 billion tokens in order to become a billionaire. This is around $127,000 at the current pricing. However, if Shiba Inu were to ever accomplish the seemingly impossible and reach 201, which would suggest the elimination of 2 zeros, then you would only need 1 billion tokens in order to achieve the $1 million level. At the moment, the price would be somewhere around $12,000. Naturally, despite the fact that this may seem thrilling, it is essential to have a grounded perspective. Neither of these are financial advice, just a quick glance at the many options available. Before plunging in, everyone who is considering investing need to first do their own study and give due consideration to their current circumstances. But there is one thing that is obvious, regardless of how you look at it. Again, Shiba Inu are gaining a lot of attention. A rising number of people are showing an interest in the topic. The charts are becoming more intense, and the community is beginning to feel that something significant could be on the way. However, what are your thoughts on this matter? Leave a comment down below. The day is over now. Remember to give it a big thumbs up. To see our most recent material, share it and subscribe to the channel.